We are going to be talking about Glenn Beck.
By the way, Glenn Beck is misunderstood, and probably, I would say, if Jesus were alive today, he would say, "Glenn Beck, you are the brother I never had."
Glenn Beck. You know what?
I'm being sarcastic, by the way.
You know, Glenn Beck has a shtick. Okay.
Yes.
And
you know what? That is a very. I know it's and I don't want to be flippant about it, but that is a very astute observation.
Well, it is.
Glenn Beck plays this character.
It's a shtick. I mean, this is a guy. He was one of these morning zoo guys back in the '80s. You know,
yes.
It's 2 for Tuesday on.
Yeah.
You know he's a broadcaster. Nothing was working. He came up with this shtick, and you got to hand it to him. A good shtick is can be a gold mine, but they generally have a lifespan.
Yeah.
And it reminds me a lot of a guy who was on TV, I guess it was in the early 80s.
Oh.
Morton Downey Jr. Remember this guy?
He was the precursor to things like Glenn Beck and Maury Povich and
Jerry
Jerry
Springer.
Springer.
Yeah, and I think you can draw a direct line from Morton Downey to Glenn Beck. Back to Glenn Beck. The reason I'm talking about Glenn Beck is
that's right.
His ratings are going down. People have figured out the shtick. They're getting tired of it. So
which is nice. It's good to know that people have finally figured out that it's just a facade.
Now his contract with Fox News is coming up, and I'm hearing they're not that keen to bring him back because even though his ratings are pretty good,
well, they're not pretty good. They're okay.
They're okay.
Yeah.
Better than some. I mean, he's doing better than Wolf Blitzer over there on the Situation Room, and Chris Matthews on Hardball.
By the way, if Wolf Blitzer actually made it the Situation Room, where it's just a room where the Situation keeps showing his abs, and Wolf just goes and says, "Now these abs." He's gotten a six-pack that is coming, and it's just the situation. It's just him, and it's just Wolf and the Situation trying to dodge grenades.
CNN, get on that.
Get
right on that.
And
I'd watch that.
And CNN could be rebranded for constant nude nunnies, and you'd have to figure out what nunnies are.
Well, what's going on is his contract's coming up, so Glenn Beck is thinking about maybe starting up his own Oprah-style network. Where instead of OWN, it would be all Glenn Beck style. Can you imagine the maniacs you would have to get on this network?
They could call it All Beck Crap, ABC. No, that's taken.
Well, it's the big problem if he does go ahead with this frankly insane idea. Right. Is advertisers, because his show, even though it does okay in the ratings, advertisers are fleeing it.
Oh, of course,
he's getting, his top advertiser, according to this thing I'm reading on here, says his top advertiser was a plastic surgery company called Lifestyle Lift.
Oy.
Wolf Blitzer's Situation Room, on the other hand, Microsoft, Procter & Gamble,
people who have money. People have money to pay,
he's not, not commercials for the Shoedini.
Yeah, exactly. The Shoedini. Well, Glenn could even call his his new channel. He could call it Glenn's Horrible Broadcast, which GHB. That would. It's the only channel that date rapes you while you're watching it.
Well, Glenn Beck, frankly, I think the shtick is over. It's time to find a new shtick.
Which is, you know what? I will say this: it's nice to see that people are finally figuring out.
But you know what? I think they always
they're
do.
not. No, people were listening and they thought that, it's kind of like Bill O'Reilly. He's got those people that listen to him.
True.
And every single time somebody goes after Bill and they say, well, Fox News, your broadcaster said this, and Bill O'Reilly's defense is always like, name one newsman at Fox News that said that about Barack Obama. Yeah. And they'll say, well, Glenn Beck said this, you said this, and Bill O'Reilly's actual defense is, those aren't news people. We're news commentators. So not one news source, so you're a liar, because not one news source reported it. And they're like, yes, but it's called Fox News.
Fox News.
And then he'd be like, in name only. That's just our brand. And so that's how he gets around it, by saying these things.
I think these guys, all of these guys, these Fox News guys, would be a lot more interesting if they would, every once in a blue moon, would just maybe agree with Obama. Say Obama says, you know what? I think that we need to, preserve air before we run out of it so we don't die. Instead of saying, Obama's trying to control the air, say, you know what? That's actually a good idea. We should all save the air, so we
Yeah,
don't.
well, it's-
but just something like that every once in a while, because
it's
it's,
like-
just so predictable. You know they're going to come out opposite this and pro this
Well, it's
every
like
single
it's
time.
like when Michelle Obama said, our children should exercise more,
No!
and eat less fatty foods and have more vegetables. And people came out and they were like, "How dare you
Didn't
tell
Sarah
me?"
Palin come out and say
Yeah.
that was like
Sarah Palin's
don't
like,
control.
she's
don't
like,
tell me
I
what
brought
to
some
eat."
cookies, which I know are illegal here, and you're just like, do us a favor, Sarah. I almost said something horrible, completely forgetting that this is online, and if something were to happen,
It'll be seen by literally dozens.
it doesn't
of
matter
people.
because it's like
Maybe.
it's like if something were to happen, and then they'd be like, Patrick Molina is the reason why that happened. You know what I mean?
Well, I hope so.
That's the difference between myself and somebody like a Sarah Palin. Sarah Palin will put crosshairs on her website's map, and then when
Right.
somebody gets shot, she's like, it had nothing to do with shooting people.
So-
since when is a crosshair?
In conclusion, Glenn Beck Network, good or bad idea?
It's a horrible. You know what? It's a good idea because then at least I can put it on my block channels list, and I could skip it forever, and I don't have to worry about anything. So I just
This applause, mind you, not for Glenn Beck. That's for us.
It's for sanity.
making it through another
It's
one
for
of these
sanity.
podcasts.
It's for the fact that people are actually avoiding Glenn Beck by choice. Thank you, Jesus. Thank
And
you.
don't avoid us, because we're going to be back with another podcast.
Oh no!
Yes.
Why? Why does this happen?